Picture this, all right? It is 6:30 a.m. Your alarm is absolutely blaring. Without even really thinking about it, you roll over, grab your phone, and silence the noise. But, you don't actually put the phone back down, do you? Instead, you instantly open your email, check a few notifications, and suddenly, literally before your feet have even touched the floor, you are already swimming in stress and distraction. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to calmly break down the actual science of building routines that last, starting with that all-too-familiar morning struggle. I'll be guiding you through the real, everyday mechanisms behind why we do what we do and how we can gently but effectively rewire our lives.
So think about it. If we know that grabbing our phone in bed instantly stresses us out, why do we keep doing it? Why is it so incredibly hard to change these ingrained patterns? Whether it's that morning doom scroll, eating late at night, or just trying to start a simple workout routine, behavior change is tough. Every single year, millions of us declare we're turning over a new leaf, and yet the vast majority of us end up right back exactly where we started. In fact, research tracking the success rate of New Year's resolutions over a 2-year span shows a pretty staggering reality. 81% of them fail. That means at least 8 times out of 10, we just slide right back into our old habits rather than sticking with a new behavior. It can feel super discouraging, for sure. But when we actually look at the research, we find that the problem isn't a lack of willpower, and it's definitely not a personal flaw. The problem is just our approach.
Which brings us to Section 1, Systems and Identity. Focus on the process. Let's dive into this by shifting our mindset completely away from goals and looking at the deeper psychology of why behavior change is so tricky.
You see, we usually start our habit journey by fixating on an outcome, like I want to lose exactly 20 pounds. But the secret to lasting change isn't focusing on that outcome. It's actually about building an identity-based habit. Instead of a goal, focus on becoming the type of person who moves every day. Outcomes are what you get, and processes are what you do, but your identity is what you believe. If you want to change your behavior for good, you've got to start believing new things about yourself. And you prove this new identity to yourself with small, undeniable everyday wins.
The real beauty of proving your identity to yourself is that it doesn't require some exhausting, radical overnight transformation. It is all about marginal gains. If you focus on getting just 1% better each day, that compound interest will quietly transform your lifestyle over the course of a year. Mathematically speaking, if you get 1% better each day for a year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done. It's the small choices made over time that truly matter.
And this brilliantly illustrates the idea of a keystone habit. Sometimes you don't need to change everything in your life, you just need to change one strategic thing. A keystone habit is a routine that naturally pulls the rest of your life into line. Adopting one simple routine like a daily morning walk naturally improves your sleep, your focus, and your energy without any extra effort on your part. You don't have to force it. Better nutrition and better sleep just cascade naturally from that one single change.
All right, Section 2, the myth of 21 days. How long does it actually take? Before we get into the practical steps of building these habits, we really need to reset our expectations about timelines.
If you've ever felt like a failure because a habit didn't stick after a few weeks, you've probably fallen victim to the 21 days rule. Well, that is a complete myth. It comes from an old 1960s observation about patients adjusting to surgery, and it somehow got twisted into a universal law. In reality, peer-reviewed studies show it takes an average of 66 days for a new behavior to become truly automatic. And honestly, depending on the person and how complex the habit is, it can actually take anywhere from 18 to 254 days.
This longer timeline makes perfect sense when you look at synaptic pruning. As we age, our brains physically wire themselves to become faster and more efficient at the things we practice daily, like automatically putting on a seatbelt or brewing your morning coffee. At the same time, the brain just prunes away the neural connections we aren't using. So creating a new habit means literally rewiring your brain's circuitry, and that biological construction just naturally takes time.
Moving to Section 3, Environment Design. Change your space. To support those developing neural pathways, we have to recognize that our behaviors are largely just a response to our environment.
We often try to muscle through with pure willpower, right? But willpower is like a muscle, it gets fatigued as the day goes on. A much more effective strategy is environment design. Simply put, reduce the steps it takes to do a good habit and increase the hurdles for a bad one. Remember that morning phone habit? If checking it first thing stresses you out, change the space. Take the phone out of your bedroom entirely. Charge it across the hall and buy a shockingly old-school alarm clock instead. By just adding a little physical distance, you completely break the automatic loop. Let's look at how this translates into practical, everyday tweaks. Place your running shoes right by your bed so you practically step into them when you wake up. Chop your veggies and put them in clear containers right at eye level in the fridge. Buy a metal water bottle and cover it in your favorite stickers so you actually want to use it. And hide the cookies way out of sight in the back of a high cupboard. It's really about designing a space where doing the right thing is the path of least resistance.
Section 4. Habit stacking. The power of old habits. Once your environment is set up for success, the absolute easiest way to establish a new routine is to piggyback it onto an old one. Using a formula called habit stacking, you basically just pair an existing daily anchor, something you do every single day without fail, like pouring your morning coffee, with a new, tiny behavior. So after you pour your coffee, you take one single deep, calming breath. And then, step 3 is absolutely crucial. You immediately celebrate it. Emotion is what wires the brain to remember. Feeling that quick little spark of success is what transitions the behavior into an automatic reflex.
Which leads us straight to Section 5, start small and celebrate success. Because motivation is just a wave. It inevitably crashes. The real secret to making this work, especially on stressful or exhausting days, is that your new habit has to be almost laughably tiny. As the saying goes, make it so easy you can't say no. Don't start by trying to meditate for 10 minutes or forcing yourself to do 50 push-ups. Start by flossing just one tooth. Start by doing 2 push-ups against your desk when you close your laptop for the day. Make the action so tiny that you never, ever need to rely on motivation or willpower to just get it done.
And hey, treat yourself with a lot of patience and self-compassion along this journey. As author James Clear so beautifully puts it, the task of breaking a bad habit is like uprooting a powerful oak within us, and the task of building a good habit is like cultivating a delicate flower one day at a time. It requires gentle care, consistency, and understanding that biological change isn't instantaneous.
And when you inevitably stumble, because we all do, remember that failing isn't a personal flaw. As Clear also points out, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Missing a habit once has no measurable impact on your long-term progress. So abandon that all-or-nothing mentality, just take a calm look at what went wrong, tweak your environment to make it easier, and simply try again tomorrow.
So take a second right now and ask yourself, what is one tiny habit you can stack on to your morning routine tomorrow? Maybe it's putting a book on your pillow when you make the bed, or taking one mindful breath when you turn on the faucet. Thanks for watching this explainer. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and let us know down below what tiny habit you plan to build next.